My name is Morley. I'm a musician, producer. I'm a curator of intercultural events. I bring all kinds of different cultures together to do collaborations with music for children, for adults, also dialogue, roundtable discussions on healing through art and action. So healing and empathy through art and action. I use the music as a tool for dialogue facilitation when I'm working with young people from war zones. And also I work with women who've survived human trafficking. I use music as a tool for trauma release. So I'm really excited to talk with you about music as more than the power of entertainment, but the medicine it carries.
A dream is a dream. Is it real or make believe? The smiles and the sounds of love.
I think the first time,
Singing songs.
the first time I fell in love with music was really when I heard birds. I grew up in Jamaica, Queens, in New York City. Very, very city, very, very urban dwelling. And we went out to a park in the city, but still there were a lot of trees. And I just remember being sort of mesmerized. And I sort of left the group that I was with. Like I was with my family and some friends, and I just sort of wandered off and just they had to come get me. I was just sort of transfixed by the sound, like the polyrhythms, the harmonies. I didn't realize that's what I was pulled in by, but it was something outside of the human creation, human voices or human rhythms and instruments. It was the sound of earth and my awareness of that. And I think I hadn't really heard it because being in the city, there's so much, there's so many cars, there's so much music coming out of people's cars, also like just sounds, and just to feel that. So that's my first story for that. And then in terms of recorded music, my mother gave me a cassette tape when I don't remember, I was a teenager, and she said, "This is the best way I can explain to you what it means to be a woman." And she gave me a cassette tape of Sweet Honey in the Rock, which is a vocal ensemble. And they were, the founder of the group is Bernice Johnson Regan, and she became my mentor. I got a chance to work with her, and it changed my life. And her daughter is one of my best friends, and she taught me how to play guitar. So I didn't think I'd ever make music, and many, many years later, I meet them. But that cassette gave me sort of a map of how to proceed on the planet in this body as a female woman, and also to put my sound in the world through whatever I do for something other than just myself, because their music is all about justice and healing and freedom. My understanding of the connection between spirituality and music is that they're intertwined. So in a way, there's not really even a connection. They are the same, and I know that's semantics, but literally it's a sound vibration. It's a frequency holds medicine. It moves the waters of the body. It moves the atoms of the air. The molecular structure in the air changes when we create sound, when we're speaking, and when we make any rhythmic sound. But when we start to harmonize, or when we start to create polyrhythms, I mean, we're shifting things. And also, I really learned the power and spirituality of music from doing hospice work. I did hospice work for 13 years, and I started with children, with infants. And my first visit, I didn't know what to expect. I went in with my shaker, little percussion instrument, and my guitar. And they were 1-year-olds, 6-month-olds on life support, and just very still. And as soon as I start playing the shaker or make some sound with a guitar or start humming, their whole body starts moving, they start smiling. And it's not because they know me or they know that sound or there's a familiar song. It's the vibration of my voice or the guitar, the instrument, was tickling the cells of the body, which are made of water. So to me, spirituality and music is about sound vibration and water. There's water in the air, there's water in our bodies, and it's massaging it, it's soothing, and it's activating. And also sometimes it's just great to hear a great love song or a protest song or a reflective song about the blues, you know. So, but it comes down to the water for me. My thing is that I always, my goal is to listen for the wisdom in the room when I'm working with people. And my goal is for that to take the lead, the wisdom that's already in the room. So if you ask me about like how do I use music when I'm working with people in conflict zone or conflict situations or who have survived some kind of trauma, there is an inherent wisdom in them that has helped them to survive, to get to that moment that we're in that moment. For them to be in the room, it's because something has allowed them and helped them to get there inside them. So that's what I'm looking for to come out through their voice or through, if they choose to tap on the little drum or whatever instruments we're using. And it always happens. People always, for example, if I start, I was working with war veterans, mostly men in this one particular instance. And I would open every session with a song that I learned from my mentor, Dr. Bernice Johnson Regan. It says, "So glad I'm here, so glad I'm here, so glad I'm here, so glad I'm here. I can sing my song, or I shout out my name, Morley," and they shout out their name, Mark, or whatever the name is. Everyone shouts out their name into the circle. I shout out my name. I shout out my name, shout out my name, Morley. I shout out my name, so glad I'm here. And so in the beginning of each one of those, it's like, so glad I'm here. People are singing. At the end, after we do the session, so glad I'm here. You know, and it's big because they put their self in the room. Once you put your voice in the room, like, again, what Dr. Bernice Johnson Regan said, you can reach somebody, they can meet you, they meet you before you meet them because they've met your voice. And your voice can travel so far through a room, just like if someone's playing an instrument, it's traveling and you're meeting. There's a meeting that happens. So when we use, when there's extreme trauma and there's an opportunity to express the vibration that's in you through sound, something changes because it affects the waters of the body. That's my feeling about it. The victory is always within the people who are in the room. They're the ones who are the noble ones that bring their voice, and then they create their own healing for themselves. I happen to be the one facilitating it, but even when I'm on stage in a theater or a club, I happen to be the one holding the guitar and singing, but whoever's listening and they have an experience, that's their victory. It's not about me. I am the one singing, but we've met the song in the room. I just try to sing to the song. I sing to the sound instead of, I don't perform anymore. I think I perform my music, but I don't perform it like to present it. I'm singing to the song, if that makes sense. And that work in hospice and war veterans, domestic violence survivors. I've done this for so long for different populations, and it's across the board. It's the same. Everybody has the magic. Everybody has the music. They just need an opportunity to send it out. Doing that work shifted the idea of presenting a song. It's like, here's the song where we're both, here's the art piece, we're looking at it together. This is what happened, or this is what's living this song. Everybody has a song. Everybody has something, a melody, a rhythm that has been with them since before they were, I believe, since before they were named, given a name. There is a song you come into this planet with. There's something. There's a melody. There is a melody, and there is a rhythm that each person is walking with. We're in the process of transformation and the death and the birth of another cycle for human beings with authoritarian rule, wars, violence, the movement for nonviolence, the movement for healing. It's nothing new on the planet, what's happening. It's very difficult. And the thing that I think is keeping us possible, our possibility is within us activating that healing vibration within ourselves and finding community to do that with. So for me, I'm hungry to be inside of community, to be inside of the music, and to find ways for us to lift our voices together as one sound, for freedom, for justice, for healing, for collective solidarity, meaning that your freedom is bound in my freedom. I am not free until you are free to love how you love. I'm not free until you are free to worship how you worship. I'm not free until you can't, we are, and vice versa. So, and inside of that is music, is because there's a great proverb. It says 2 people can speak at each other at the same time and they can't hear. But 2 people can sing together and make beautiful music. So we have to find a way to collaborate, strengthen our collaborations. And I think it starts within. Hearing that sound, that first sound.